Hey guys, welcome to Developer Ninja. I'm Reza. Hit that subscribe button and let's build something amazing together. In this video, we are going to create our first project with Unity C#. This training is the foundation for creating 2D projects. So that after this training, you will be able to create your own important and large projects. Click New Project and then create a new 2D project called First Project and click the Create Project button. After opening our project, we adjust the size of the game scene. Then we create the items and game graphics with 2D objects. Then we add 2D collision and physics to our player. We also add a 2D collision for the ground. We're making the game's graphic a little more beautiful. Now we will create the user interface and the game loss panel. We use the text at the top of the screen to display the current game score. Okay, now we have a capsule as a player, a circle as an obstacle, a piece of land, and some text to display the scores. In the Inspector section, we add physics and collision to the circle. In the Constraints section, we freeze the X and Z coordinates to prevent the player from falling. Now we will create the Score Manager section for our game and add it to the Score Manager object. Open the Score Manager script and code it. The things we need inside the score manager class are a text called score text and an integer variable called score. And then a function called addScore that adds up the scores and displays them in the text. We initialize the values of the score manager object within the hierarchy. Now we will create the player controller object and its script. Open the player controller script. Okay, now we'll create an instance of the score manager class, then create a 2D physics variable, and then define boolean variable named isGrounded with the value true. We use the isGround variable to check whether the player is on the ground or in jumping mode. We use the onMouseDown function to control the player's jump. Each time the left mouse button is pressed, the addScore function from the score manager class is called and 10 points are added to the player score. We then use the onCollisionInter2D function to detect when the player collides with the ground or obstacles. Now we add tags to the required items. Drag the player controller script into the player object and then set the values. We made a mistake here. We changed value to score. Now we run the project and see that everything is working properly. Now we will create a script called OBS Move, which we will use to move the obstacles and drag it into the obstacle object. Here we define a float variable called speed, and then inside the update method we move the object and tell it to delete the object if the object's x coordinate is less than -10. Okay, let's run the project and see that the obstacle movement works properly. But the problem is that we forgot to add physics to our obstacle. Okay, now we'll create the game manager object, create its script and drag it into the game manager object. Inside the game manager class, we create an instance of itself. Then we define game object called loose panel, and then create game over and game restart functions. Drag the values of the game manager object into it. For the click event of the restart button, we call game restart function. We run the project and see that is working. Now we will create prefab from our obstacle and delete the obstacle. We create the obvious spawner object and its script. In this class, we create a game object for the obstacle and a float variable for the duration of the obstacle generation. We use the function invoke repeating to repeat the execution of function spawn obvious. Inside the spawn obvious function, we generate obstacles at a specific coordinate. We initialize the values of the obvious spawner object. Now we're done and we're testing our project, and it's great. Everything is working properly. More awesome tutorials are on the way. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell.